like don't try to buy his.
Tune in live to Salacious Life Radio every Wednesday from 9 to 11, only on BeExposedRadio.com.
Join the club that gives you stuff.
Hey, thanks!
Radio Loyalty. Here's how it works. Just click on the Radio Loyalty banner right now and sign up. Then you keep on listening like you already do. But now you earn points.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Hi, I'm LeVar Burton, and I'm proud to be a book person. How do I choose a book? Sometimes it's...
The Artist Exchange Radio Show every Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., every Saturday, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m.
Monday night, you already know, got two sickos in the building. Kescia, Mark, what's going on, money?
Recovering from our big weekend.
Yeah, I am tired.
Oh, God, yeah. I was like falling asleep at work. I'm like, I'm not going to make it tonight. Oh. If my boss is watching, I wasn't falling asleep.
You see, I didn't say any of that. I was sitting up, erect, and working very hard. Not. But what's going on, you guys? Another Monday night. We're so happy to be here tonight. As Mark said, pretty big weekend for the show, and we did a lot of bouncing around this weekend.
Yeah.
Well, a little bit of bouncing around, I should say.
For me, it started Saturday morning. I know I talked to you a couple weeks ago about the tree lighting I went to.
Yeah.
Well, Saturday morning was White Marsh's Christmas parade. So, you know, picked up the boy, went out there, checked it out. You know, got the Christmas parade going on. That's always a good time, get you in the spirit and the mood. You ready for Christmas?
Yeah, I'm ready for Christmas. I actually did a little tree shopping this weekend and went and got the tree, a good old Christmas tree. So now I just gotta decorate that joint.
You haven't decorated yet?
No, I have to figure out a plan for some ornaments. You know, I don't really have any ornaments, so I don't know, I'll probably be, you know, handcrafting most of them. But when I get done, I'm gonna make sure I take a picture and send it to you.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna come up with some pretty unique ornaments, you know.
You?
Might throw a blunt up on there.
I'm more interested in, like, you know, maybe some Salacious Life.
Oh, God. Oh, Jesus. My parents is watching, yo. Hey, none of that on my Christmas tree. It'll be a nice, wholesome sight, okay? Yo, so if you want to, you know, get me like a Ravens ornament or something like that, you know, 'tis the season.
Yeah.
So, yeah, whatever.
One of my prized ornaments is my G.I. Joe ornament.
Really?
Oh, yeah.
That's pretty dope. That's actually really dope. Now I feel like I have to one-up you or something. I'm going to find something, Star Wars or something.
Yeah.
So you guys, the squad, we hit the road this weekend, and we took the gang on out to Towson, to the SECU Arena out there at Towson University to watch the Baltimore Blast. God. And they took on the, how do you say it? Messotagua. They're Canadian. Very, very friendly guys. Yeah, we watched the Blast play, and it was a really good game. Yeah. You know, Blast are returning MASL champions, and it looks like they didn't skip a beat on Saturday night, man. I mean, they kicked some ass.
Yeah, they took it to them.
Yeah.
It was exciting.
Yeah.
You had a little bit better vantage point than me because I was right behind the goal.
Right. I was at the, I was kind of like, I was going to say the 50, but it's not. It's like, what do you call it? The half field mark? I don't know.
Sure. Let's go with that.
Yeah. It was really nice. At one point, a friend of mine was like, well, maybe we should go over and sit with Mark. And I was like, you know, I kind of like my view a little better.
I was watching those seats by you, and I noticed some started emptying out.
Y'all should have came over, man.
It was starting to get towards like the end of the game too, and I was like, whatever. And I saw you like get up and start leaving, so I was like, okay. Yeah. So we just met up on the concourse.
Yeah. There was a lot of kids out there.
There
were a lot of kids, and I don't have any kids, so I was out there just chilling with my beers and whatnot. And I swear to God, man, and if this woman is watching, you are an asshole. She had two little boys, right? They were sitting behind us. These fools was like going full karate on the back of our chairs, like just kicking and just like it was crazy. It was insane. Like
you didn't say anything?
Like I was. Really I turned around and kind of gave them the, right, I'm going to say the Caucasian. Trying to give them the look, you know what I'm saying? That shit ain't work.
Should give them the people's eyebrow.
I don't know. I was trying not to go full Kescia out that joint because, we were guests. And shout out to, who gave us those press passes?
I'll look up his name later. Michael.
Damn.
Of course I had it earlier.
Yeah, never get another pass. But I also want to shout out Elton and Andrew and William at fucking Maniac. You guys did really well. Congratulations on your first win. And we will be back out to watch more Baltimore Blast games. I mean, man, that thing was fun.
Absolutely.
When they said fast paced, they weren't joking.
And I remember when Elton was in here the first time with William, and they were talking about the fast pace. Mm-hmm. And I remember kind of him like mentioning ice hockey, but I didn't really pay attention, or not. Mm-hmm. It didn't sink in. But when you're there and you watch it, like. They were like switching out lines like you would in a hockey game instead of for a stop and play.
Right.
And then even I got a basketball vibe. There was a power play. Yeah. And just the way they were passing the ball and everything. I was like, damn, that's some basketball in there too. Yeah. There was a couple of times where I saw like a sub come in and just immediately jump on the ball. And I was like, man, I don't even know. I saw a time that they subbed out when the dude had the ball. So the guy coming in was right on the ball. Yeah. It was crazy. Yeah, I think one time I even saw like, it was like a pass that was coming in a direction. Guy comes out, and another guy comes in and just, picks up right where they left off. It was really amazing. Yeah, really amazing. And shout out to those guys because, I have a newfound respect for Arena League soccer. I mean, that was my first, game. I haven't been to the Blast game, to a Blast match in a long time, since the 80s. Yeah. And they were the shit back then. And, it's just good to see that they still going strong in Baltimore and giving us a big name. And I gotta shout out the CQ Arena too, because that joint was lit. I gotta say, it got loud. Yeah, we were pumped out there. Yeah. We were pumped. Speaking of pumped, I don't know, so I took my son, and on the drive home, we were like, it was the one thing we talked about, Mello. Oh yeah. Right, is that the guy that did the? Okay, all right, cool. You wanna tell that little story? We put up a couple pictures on the page, but it was in the second half, which again, going back to like basketball rules or something like that, they do quarters instead of like halves for soccer. Second half starts, Mello scores a goal, runs over to the box where his teammates are. They hand him flowers and something else. He runs across the field, jumps up into the stands, goes to what I would assume is his girlfriend at the time. Yeah. Hopefully not some random girl. Gets down on one knee, bam, proposes. Like, that's just something that you like see on Sports Center. Yeah. And honestly, like, I really had no idea what was going on because, every time that they scored, I don't know if you noticed, they had like this celebration moment like that, and that was kind of new to me too. Like, oh, that's a soccer. Yeah. I mean, I see them when they be like, yeah, and everybody, But I mean, these people had individual like, Oscar acceptance dance routines and shit. It was like, everybody would, they would get into a little group, then the person would go and do a little dance or something by himself and, jump up on the railing and it was just like, that shit was nuts. That one dude almost tore down the wall too. Yeah. He jumped on the rail and started waiting. I was like, oh shit, it's gonna come down.
But yeah, that was kind of fun though. I mean, yeah, shout out to the Blast. It was a really, really fun experience, man. Really fun experience for the weekend.
We'll be back.
Yeah, we will most definitely be back, yo. Elton, we'll be back, dog. So don't forget us. Do we have a hometown hero for the week? I believe we do, right?
We do have a hometown hero.
Awesome.
Real quick, let's give a shout out to Coed Bliss.
Okay.
She's on the feed. She says hello.
Hey, what's up, Coed? What's up, Keita, baby? What's up, baby?
Okay, hometown hero. He's kind of an adopted hometown. He's here in Baltimore now, originally from Delaware. And yeah, I'm talking about a man named Flacco, but I'm not talking about a man named Joe Flacco.
I was about to say, what in fresh hell?
Talking about Tommy Flacco, Joe's little brother. Quarterback, Towson Tigers. Today, it was announced he finished 5th in voting for the FCS, which is like Division III football now, whatever they renamed that years ago. Finished 5th in voting for the Walter Payton Award, which recognizes the Offensive Player of the Year in the football championship subdivision. He's a redshirt junior. This year he threw for 3,251 yards, 28 touchdowns, and ranks 5th in the country in yards. 10th in completions per game, 22nd in completion percentage, and is tied 6th for touchdowns. He also rushed for 742 yards and 4 scores, and he's already been named the CAA Offensive Player in the Year. So at least some Flacco in Baltimore's doing good.
I'm about to say, now y'all know what I'm about to say. Bama performing better than his brother, man. I mean, like, wow.
Like that CQ Arena we went to, it's right across from Giant Unitas Stadium.
Yeah.
Which I was checking out the stadium when we were walking around it. I definitely next year want to check out some Towson Tiger games.
Yeah. We should do that. Try to see what the other Flacco looks like.
Yeah.
You know, but those are some pretty impressive numbers, though. Shout out to the little bro. Yeah, that's impressive.
Little brothers always get it done.
All right, you guys. Like I said, we got a great show lined up for you tonight. We have a very special guest, good friend of mine, Walter Slowe, coming through. He is the current track coach for Hamilton
Elementary, middle, yeah.
Okay, middle, elementary, either one. And he's going to be coming through to talk about the track team, also talk about them Ravens, baby. How about them Ravens? Baltimore was representing down in ATL. We also got some pretty good WTF moments of the week. It was a crazy weekend. Right. And also, we're going to do a little bit of talking about the NBA. Man, there's some shift in the balance of power in both conferences.
Yeah.
We got some unusual suspects sitting at the top of the power rankings, and I'd like to take a minute to discuss those, discuss a few of these teams, if they are actually legit or not. So we also have Monday Night Football game tonight. You guys already know we'll discuss that as well. We back to booty with Monday Night Football. What is it? The Eagles at the Redskins, or are the Redskins at the Eagles? I really don't care.
Eagles, but I'm not sure. Yeah, they're at the Eagles.
Yeah, both teams are performing subpar, and
talk about a Super Bowl hangover.
Right? Yeah, like we'll save that shit for the next segment. Yeah. So you guys don't go anywhere. I think we are about to take a little break, and when we come back, we will be discussing that Monday Night Football game. And possibly the pick'em results. I think that we have a sole winner already.
Do we?
It's not even coming down to Monday Night Football. I think TT's in the lead. Easy. She did the damn thing this week. Yeah. So don't go anywhere, you guys. Just a bit outside.
Whoa. The moment my son saw a redwood tree.
It's huge!
Is the moment I knew that for him.
You can't even see the top of that thing.
Even the sky has no limit.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go. Your moment is out there. Find it at discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Join the Just a Bit Outside crew every Monday, 8 to 10 p.m. on BeExposedRadio.com.
You want to start off?
I think I'll get it out of the way on a who's not.
Okay, do it.
The Orioles.
Right.
They got swept by the Royals. They lost 4 in a row, and the last 5 games have all been decided by 1 run.
Mm-hmm.
The game before, or the last game that they lost before the Royals was the Nationals, and it was Weeders, of course, won with a home run.
Hit the home run.
Right.
They were going into that National Series. It seemed like they were doing so well, and they just crapped out. They got that game postponed, so who knows when they're going to replay that or play that game.
Mm-hmm.
That's my first not for the night.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and weigh in on my who's not, and I'm going to talk about the San Diego Padres.
The Padres. That's okay. You just took my answer.
They're in last place in the NL West. They've lost 8 of their last 10. Their run differential is a negative 65, which is just horrible. So when you have well, let me just talk about run differential a little bit. It's kind of like the
how much you're winning or losing your games by, pretty much.
Yeah. Okay. It's like the margin of victory, kind of.
Right.
So when you're in a negative number, that means that you're.
Then your average game you're losing
by a whole lot.
Right.
I mean, a number like negative 65, this early into the season is pretty rough.
That's horrible.
The pitching numbers pretty much support this stat right here. I mean, the team ERA is 4.70, which is 26th in the league. They have 126 walks allowed. They acquired Jared Weaver in the offseason, and he really has not panned out. He's off to one of the worst starts in any of the pitchers in 2017. Mm-hmm. He's 0-4 with a 6.05 ERA. In May alone, he already has 12 earned runs. 12 earned runs in May. And, another one of their pitchers, Clayton Richard, he's 2-4 with a 4.34 ERA. And, in May, he has 6 earned runs and 12 innings pitched. So they're not pitching well. And on top of that, they are also not batting well.
Right. But it kind of sucks because Manuel Margot is doing pretty good. His the past few at bats, his last.
Join the Just a Bit Outside crew every Monday, 8 to 10 p.m. on BeExposedRadio.com.
You're now listening to BeExposedRadio.com. Check out this fire flashback.
We need to relearn what it is to be these bosses and how we conduct ourselves as business-minded individuals and just people in general. I let my gut, and if I call it gut or God or whatever, I'm led by that energy. I know where it comes from. I know where it's taking me, and you have to figure out what is important to you, and don't play this game. It's a game that we've learned to play, this chess game, and life is not a chess game. Life is real, bones, flesh, blood, decisions.
Make sure you check out the Artist Exchange Show every Monday and Friday at 2 p.m. only on BeExposedRadio.com.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit stoptextstoprex.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Green light. Hey girl, school zone. I'm getting hungry. Car changing lanes. You want to meet me for pizza? Stop sign. Intersection clear. Yeah, street. Pizza sounds good. Ballin' Street? Girlin' Street!
It's hard to concentrate on 2 things at once.
like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstopwrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
We're rewarding you for something you already do, listening to us. It's Radio Loyalty, and it's an easy way for you to get free stuff. All you do is sign up. Go ahead and click the banner now. You'll earn points as you listen. Points you can trade in for great products and services in the Radio Loyalty store. You can earn even more points when you share your favorite station with friends on Facebook and Twitter. Radio Loyalty. It's free to sign up, so click the banner to join now.
It is what it is. Radio show.
Go ahead. All right, listen. All right, Shay. Situation. Okay, I keep telling y'all it's different.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Welcome back, Just a Bit Outside Radio Show on BeExposedRadio.com. As you can see, we've been joined by Walter J. Slowe. We're still going to do the Monday Night Football talk, but how you doing, Walter?
I'm doing well. You know, we're going to go by Coach Slowe today.
Oh, shit!
I'm going to bring up a rename.
Now, you do like middle school and elementary kids, right?
I do. I've been at Hamilton Elementary Middle School for about 7 years.
You ever get some smart-ass kids like Coach Slowe? Why we got to be slow out here?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, wow.
I didn't even think about that.
That's such an original one.
Exactly, right?
I get that at pre-K level.
I got a...
He said pre-K level.
Oh, pre-K joke right there. Yeah. I'm always like, please, let's bring a little bit more.
Yeah.
When we give this kind of language. Yes, I do. Of course. I've been getting that since I was like very, very little though. That's like the first day of school.
Right.
Walter, Slowe, and then everybody kind of giggles but not comfortable.
Right.
And then the teacher goes, so I do have one question. Here it comes, right here. Are you as slow as your name?
Some cheesy ass shit like that.
And so I'm with my mom on Thanksgiving. My mom goes, you know one thing about your dad and you. Your last name is Slowe, but you do nothing slow.
Yeah, I was just about to say, there's nothing slow about this guy right here. I've known him for quite some time now. And he makes moves, and he's all over the place. All over the place.
Yeah. So I started as an artist, pretty much, an actor.
Okay.
But I always thought about humanities in general as a competition in a sense. Whereas, you know, if you were auditioning for a part, it's kind of like getting a role in a team. And then depending on what part of the team you got, you might be like the stagehand, you know, you might be the light person, you might be all those things. And then by the time I got introduced to like youth development, it was more about social and emotional learning, which is also in the century of like acting and performance arts. You know, it's kind of like more of that thing of like, you know, listening to each other and being able to focus and concentrate yourself in one area. And so, I don't know, it was kind of like God or universe gave like a parlay to my life and gave me an opportunity to do something that I always wanted to do, which was each one, teach one. And a village had raised me. So when the village raised me, it was kind of like nobody ever told me I couldn't do it. They were always telling me I can do it. So then as an adult, I mean, who was going to tell me that I can't do something that I wanted to really do? So not that it doesn't come with limitations, but I think everybody does. But what I ended up doing was just taking that sort of focus and then just moving it into like, the development of recess in general, peer-on-peer mentorships, community building, resolving conflicts. And then when I got a chance to coach actual sports, that was just exciting because I am one of those kind of like armchair quarterback type of people.
That's right.
Instead of like playing the Madden, I like to kind of strategize what I wanted to do and how I wanted to do it. So now it's like over the last 7 years at Hamilton, I've been able to just be able to coach from everything from tennis, soccer, foursquare, kickball, flag football, track, basketball, volleyball. So it's just been like on a developmental level, but that developmental level just provided so many opportunities to grow the community in general, because all the statistics say that like girls basketball, for example, which is the last thing we just got through, last season, and they did very well on the middle school level. We came in about ranked 2, so it wasn't that bad, and we only lost 1 game.
Wow.
But the way they have it set up, you don't even get a playoffs. Like if you lose one of the Baltimore City middle school games,
right,
you end up like, it ends up being the top teams of each conference. So if we lost that 1 game and they go undefeated on both sides, you had 2 undefeated teams, but you didn't even get a chance to go through a playoffs where you could, you know, earn that opportunity. So I thought that was kind of interesting as well. But, you know, just to make a long story short, you know, the statistics with just girls basketball in general, if they're not playing some sort of sport, you're more inclined to do some things that's going to have some different choices. And then the opportunity that girls get a chance to play, well, that's a whole nother conversation in general.
Right.
You know, we were talking about the Serena Williams situation. You know, those rules are going to be right there. And, you know, the opportunity to speak your mind in that environment, that is kind of a privilege, you know, but it also was an opportunity to make a platform for, you know, equality. So I think all those things are good, and I think that's what we are living in a time where it's kind of like that right now, you know. And you were talking about the Ravens game earlier. What I really thought about it, what I came back with the Falcons and the Ravens, was the teamwork, stepping up. You know, the next person stepping up to like make the play, or the next person stepping up to take on the role. And I've always enjoyed that. You know, it's like an old story. When I was back in my restaurant days, I'm at ESPN Zone. Ravens, what's his name?
Kyle Bowler.
Team.
Oh, what?
We're talking
before that.
The defensive line, Rob Burnett.
Oh, okay.
And it was another guy. His name is evading me right now, but this is when Ray hurt his shoulder.
Okay.
So they're all sitting at this table, and it's up on the stage, and it's like a set, like a Sports Center set. And so they're sitting there, and you know they get served, and nobody's bothering them. Like it's the new team, and nobody's bothering them. And he's got a sling on, and I just remember them all sitting there, and I said, "Yo, watch this." They all lifted up the food at the same time, and they all dropped it down at the same time. They all lifted it up, and they all dropped it. And it wasn't even like they were thinking about it. It was just, you know, after a while, you start watching how people drink and eat, and I was like, got into it. So I'm like, oh, look at that. That's going to win something. Like, that's going to tell us something about this team. And next thing you know, and I wasn't even a coach then. This is just me, armchair quarterback. And that was the year that they won the Super Bowl.
Okay.
So, you know, that whole idea of, like, coming together has always been one of those great things that I enjoyed. And then also, like, just building it so that you're having a belief system where you're going to go a little bit outside of your comfort zone to make a difference on your team, on your community, on your world.
Hey, I like that. You guys, don't go anywhere. We're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, we're going to break down that Monday Night Football game. I promise you. Just a bit outside.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Hi, I'm LeVar Burton, and I'm proud to be a book person. How do I choose a book? Sometimes it's the cover, sometimes it's the title. I guess I'm pretty visual. If a book's really impressing me and the writing is really good, I will peek and see what the last paragraph is, because the endings of books should rock you. I am a book person, and if you're a book person too, read to a child and spark a lifetime of ambition. Join me at bookpeopleunite.org, because reading is fundamental. A public service announcement brought to you by Reading is Fundamental, Library of Congress, and the Ad Council.
The Artist Exchange Radio Show every Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., every Saturday, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Real artist, real talk, real live on BeExposedRadio.com. I was meeting with a friend yesterday, and I've gotten to the point where don't ask me a question because the truth is going to come out. Exactly. Just don't do it.
If you ain't looking for the truth, don't come to me.
Don't do it because I can't hold my tongue, and she wants to be this stylist.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Welcome back, Just a Bit Outside Radio Show on BeExposedRadio.com. You're checking us out on Facebook, on YouTube, live on Periscope, anytime throughout the week.
Apple Podcasts.
Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, wherever you can find us, check us out. If you're watching us now, share the link, share the love. I'm talking to you, Jay Hunger.
Right, we see you watching, Bama. We're going to get to them Bengals in a minute, too. Share the link, share the love, yo. As Mark said, welcome back. And you can see we still have Walt here sticking around, chopping it up with us, talking about the track team at Hamilton Elementary / Middle School. Mark, you want to continue?
All right. Well, there's a Monday Night Football game going on tonight.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Pretty excited about that, Phillies.
Philly.
Yo, I just got it.
The Redskins are at the Eagles, which both teams. I mean, the Redskins started off the season strong, and I was fooled because I was a believer there for about 6 weeks.
They do that shit every year, yo. I swear to goodness. Go back and look at the Redskins season. The first 5-6 games, they look real good. You be sitting there looking like Shaq, like.
and they had Alex Smith.
Yeah. But you know, by week 7, 8, they be who exactly what we thought they were.
Is it a curse?
I have no idea.
Like, do Redskin fans feel like it's a curse? You know, like at a certain point, you just like.
They probably thought the Capitals knocked out the curse though, because it's that way with every single Washington team.
Yeah.
The Wizards.
Freaking Nationals do the same thing.
Exactly.
Yeah. Well, Wizards, they're just shit right now, so they don't have they're not doing well right now.
I think when you look at Philly and you say what kind of season they're coming off of, especially because it was a championship season.
Yeah.
Against all odds type of situation. So now you're looking at it and you're saying to yourself, oh, nice. Get a new one.
But yeah, Mark was just talking offline about that Super Bowl hangover being really real, and you know. Okay, yeah, we'll get to that in a second, Brandon. They have been looking very uncharacteristic. Like they haven't been really looking like themselves. You know, they say that, you know, you got Wentz back and everything, and that was supposed to be the, you know, kind of like the booster, but I'm really not seeing it.
Wentz doesn't look like the MVP caliber.
He does not.
He was a year ago.
Yeah.
He doesn't look like he's confident.
And they've been so solid on keeping him as a starter, whereas Foles, I mean, I love Foles. He's Arizona Wildcat.
Yeah.
And he took him, won the Super Bowl MVP, and he said he's fine being the backup. But I mean, here's a team that's not going to make the playoffs. Do you want to go to Foles?
I think at this particular point, you gotta like start to think about it. I think tonight's game is kind of important.
Yeah.
You know, the Redskins aren't going to present pretty much that much of a big threat to them, but I feel like that chemistry that they got to build to get them this momentum for the next couple of wins, to you know what I'm saying, to come out there looking, you know, the way they want to feel, you know, towards the end of the season.
Sure.
You know, I feel like that's kind of like.
Well, let's put the rest of their season into context. After tonight, they have the Cowboys, they have the Rams, they have the Texans.
So they're not going to the postseason.
And then they have the Redskins to finish off the season.
Yeah,
again.
yeah, they're not going to the playoffs. I think.
Again, this is an important game.
This might be the last time they win this season, for real.
This is like when they was going to rubber meets the road type of situation for them. You know, like I would be thinking to myself, like, come on now, let's do it. Let's get it together right here, right now. And do you bring the other quarterback in? I don't know, bro. I mean, it seems like they're committed to it now.
I mean, where I'm at right now, like I said, you're not going to the playoffs. Hell, why not shake things up a little bit? Throw them out there, see what happens. I mean, you never know. Like, they might get back to that chemistry that they had last season, because something is seriously off with the Philadelphia Eagles, and I can't put my finger on it. It's not like they lost a whole lot of players. No. You know what I mean? Right. I don't know if it's, you know, if this is coming down to coaching, because I really, I don't want to put it solely on Wentz. You know, I don't want to put it solely on Wentz. They haven't been really, the offense hasn't been there. You know, I mean, like, you know, last season they had, you know, Jay Ajayi, and they were just really like mixing things up a little bit. You know, I love a good balanced attack of, you know, running and passing. Yep. It's just I'm not really seeing that this season.
It's a team in chaos, it seems like. They just never get a rhythm going.
Yeah. I mean, do you think it's kind of crazy to say we're in week 13 and they're still like looking for their identity as to what type of team they want to be this season. But
I think it's okay. I mean, that push that you get in the playoffs, that feeling you get, that go home, make it or break it type of feeling. Yeah. You know, especially if a team has been struggling like they have and like still sticking together, like that counts at the end of the day. Like, I was surprised the Falcons looked the way they looked yesterday.
Hey, you know what? We'll get to the Ravens in a quick minute. But in the few minutes that we do have left, I want to do just a quick round robin. We're going to pick the winner, a little prediction on the score like we always do. So this is it's a division rivalry, NFC East division rivalry. Like I said, Redskins are on the road. You know, they don't look good either. So I'm going to start off with Mark. Who do you have winning tonight?
I have the Eagles. I don't think it's a question. The Redskins, once they lost Alex Smith, like they just looked terrible after that. Yeah. And that we talked about it, but that injury was nasty. And it was like on the 33rd anniversary of Joe Theismann on the same yard line. And Theismann was in the stadium that night too.
Good God Almighty! I bet he had phantom pains in his leg when he saw that shit. He probably was like, "Oh!"
He might have drove to the hospital and be like, "Yo, I'm so sorry that happened to you, for real." I think the cheesesteaks, man. You know, it's Philly for real. I like to see Philly like make a real push against the Redskins, treat them like the little brothers that they are, as far as I'm concerned. You know, I think Philly just kind of needs this game to like you said, the schedule is looking crazy in a minute. So it's time to get your chip back on your shoulder. Maybe exercise a little authority tonight. Don't be so, and then Wentz just get in the game. You know what I mean? Like, get in the game. You only have one life to live. You might as well go ahead and just live that life. Like, do that thing that you do and why you came. I always look at it and say to myself, remember what you did in practice, right? And then play. Just play. Like, don't make it the biggest deal in the world for yourself. Just execute what you know you do well. And I think Philly does a lot of things well.
Dig it. I'm going to also go with the Philadelphia Eagles. Like you said, with the loss of Alex Smith, I think that's pretty huge for the Redskins. And that's a pretty big void to fill. And like you said, last week they looked like crap. You know, and I expect that to continue this week because, to go on the road and play in Philadelphia, everybody knows that's not an easy place to play. I mean, like when you're not dealing with the team itself, you're dealing with the crazy-ass fans and the whole atmosphere. And, I feel like this is a good time for Philadelphia right now. When you got an easy opponent, we just discussed the road ahead, which is going to be very difficult for the Philadelphia Eagles. I'm looking for them to take care of business at home to try to get some momentum, for the rest of the season with these tough teams ahead. I am hoping that I see just a little bit more from Carson Wentz tonight, to be honest with you. I mean, everyone's been saying like he's this season he's been running a little bit less and has become more accurate and becoming a true passer. Man, I always say like this, like do what you do well. You know what I mean? And that might be the problem. You know what I'm saying? Like sometimes, folks have a tendency to try to make a quarterback a certain type of way or make them prototypical or make them have a certain type of play, and we'll discuss this a little bit later on when we talk about Lamar Jackson. I mean, if you do something well and if you're comfortable with doing it, be you. Now, I'm not telling you to go out there and sacrifice your body. I want you to be smart with it, but, do what you do well and, make yourself comfortable. And the rest of the team will follow, dog. So, I'm really looking for a little bit more from Carson Wentz tonight. And I'm going to go with the Eagles. And I honestly think it's going to be a pretty boring game.
I don't think there's going to be much offense.
We always say this season, Monday Night Football has been the exciting game, regardless of the shit teams they put together.
Yeah, sure.
It's been close games.
I mean, it's definitely an NFC rivalry.
Yeah.
You know, and I feel like that rivalry right there is going to be, you know, I mean, unfortunately for the Redskins, they have to really go in there with some tough skin because Philly fans are really hungry, just like any other good home team, you know. But Philly is definitely one of those places where I would feel like, yikes, it's going to be, you know what I'm saying? You got to go in there a little bit. Like, if I was a Redskin, I'd be like, all right, y'all, like, first of all, let's just
try to score.
Right, let's just understand where we're at right now. This is not about whether or not we good or bad. You know, this is about, like, let's do something right here. You know, and like you said, they might have something to play for Alex Smith being hurt so bad. You
Absolutely.
know, that might change a little bit of the flow for them. I don't know.
So there you have it, outsiders. It's unanimous. We all going with the Eagles, and you already know we'll give you updates as the night goes along. We're going to get back to Walter Slowe with Hamilton Elementary / Middle School. So let's talk a little bit about the track program at the school. First of all, I did not know that they had a track team. How how long have they had them again?
Middle school track and field has been around for a very long time.
Really?
I'm not sure exactly what the, I wish I did know the amount of years that it's been in existence itself.
But you said you've been the coach there for 7 years?
I've been the track coach at Hamilton for about 3 years.
Oh, 3 years.
3 or 4 years.
Okay.
And you know, at this particular point, we ended up winning second place, the boys, last year.
Okay.
The girls always rank pretty high, probably around second. So we compete a lot with Roland Park. You know, that's like probably one of the biggest rivalries that we have right now. But track and field is pretty exciting because it is every single middle school and it's every single event.
Really?
So from shot put to long jump. So you get a chance to include a lot of kids in regards to the team. They get a chance to see a lot of different schools each and every time they play. Instead of playing one school, you're playing a lot of different schools.
Right.
It's one of the spring sports, so that makes it pretty fun and interesting too, because you can watch somebody develop that might only be playing basketball or football is now getting a chance to expose themselves to some other things that might be scholarship worthy. And there's another like area where girls athletics, the decrease or the decline of runners for middle school.
Okay.
The interest, the low interest after you leave elementary, middle, and then you go to high school, that interest goes down.
Really?
Where we want that interest to go up. Pen relays, come on, we kind of grew up on
that was the move
watching
back
pen
in the day.
relays.
Yes.
I remember being like in my chair, like, oh man, they about to really go and get it. You know, so you know, that excitement has been like the best part about it because I get that same vibe once you really see them go out there and get ready to go, you know, like, and it's such, you know, fun season, quick, not a long time. So our team is, you know, you train for that too.
Okay.
You know, one of the long distance runners that came out of our school that's at Poly now, and he's ranked pretty high in the city.
Really?
Is Jackson Waller.
Okay.
So he's at Polytechnic, and he was our captain on our team a couple of years ago. So now he's in his sophomore year and he's just killing it in regards to cross country. Maybe like 7th or 8th in the state at this particular point. So I used to call him Captain Captain. You know, so big shout out to Polytechnic Institute and their cross country team, and Captain Captain Jackson Waller is a really good student and student athlete. You know, Keys, like student athlete and Mark, you know, those are important aspects of the development of this culture that we have in professional sports, you know, and also on the high school and college level. And we have a real opportunity to develop, or I feel like I have been honored with a real opportunity to develop student athletes, you know, because I don't have all the major aspects or expertise levels of like a, you know, an athletic coach, meaning a coach who played athletics, right?
Yeah.
But on the side of making sure that we want to cover all of our bases and setting the goals and organizing it so that you're like making sure that's part of your development, because it's very, you know, we start talking basketball, and particularly in the college level, and we look at what happened to most of our athletes over the last 30 years, it's kind of really disturbing. And then if you also look at what happens on the health levels in regards to the concussions, it's kind of disturbing. And then it seems like every year there's this heat exhaustion or somebody dying out in the field because they're doing two-a-days. So like all of those things are culturally put in place from the AAU programs all the way up. So your middle school development and your high school development and your AAU development, those partnerships need to be made a little bit stronger too when we really start to break down why don't we have the success rate higher for the athletes who actually graduate from high school who were these super athletes.
Right.
And why don't they have career development programs or financial literacy tutors or mentorships attached to them right off the bat? Like whoever you are, you get one of these. And I think we're leaving those opportunities behind instead of really going for the forefront of it in regards to the development area. And that's where, like, you know, when I look at my track team or if I look at my girls basketball team now, you know, I know that they are academically going to come out with higher grades.
Fantastic.
But I also know that they're going to have the same challenges of becoming student athletes to be that kind of athlete that can go to that college and still rank as high, you know, which is another thing where I feel like, you know, I don't want to say we could do a better job at it, but there's an opportunity there for those partnerships to create those things. I mean, there's a program at our school now called Girl in the Game.
Okay.
There's a triathlete program that's out there. So there's some people that are on the boots level helping to develop these athletes to prepare them so that we don't have these stories that we've had over the last 30 or so years.
Hold that thought. We're going to go to commercial break. You guys, when we come back, we're going to have more with Walter Slowe. Just a bit outside. Good job.
Whoa. The moment my son saw a redwood tree.
It's huge!
Is the moment I knew that for him,
You can't even see the top of that thing!
even the sky has no limit.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go. Your moment is out there. Find it at discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Join the Just a Bit Outside crew every Monday, 8 to 10 p.m. on BeExposedRadio.com.
You want to start off?
I think I'll get it out of the way on a who's not.
Okay, do it.
The Orioles.
Right.
They got swept by the Royals. They lost 4 in a row, and the last 5 games have all been decided by 1 run. The game before, or the last game that they lost before the Royals was the Nationals, and it was Weeders, of course, won with a home run.
Hit the home run.
Right. They were going into that National Series. It seemed like they were doing so well, and they just crapped out. They got that game postponed, so who knows when they're going to replay that or play that game. That's my first not for the night.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and weigh in on my who's not, and I'm going to talk about the San Diego Padres.
The Padres. That's okay. You just took my answer.
They're in last place in the NL West. They've lost 8 of their last 10. Their run differential is a negative 65, which is just horrible. So when you have well, let me just talk about run differential a little bit. It's kind of like the
how much like you're winning or losing your games by, pretty much.
Yeah. Okay. It's like the margin of victory, kind of.
Right.
So when you're in a negative number, that means that you're.
Then your average game you're losing
by a whole lot.
Right.
I mean, a number like negative 65, this early in the season is pretty rough.
That's horrible.
Then the pitching numbers pretty much support this stat right here.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Just a Bit Outside Radio Show, BeExposedRadio.com. You're on Facebook, YouTube. You know where to check us out. We appreciate just hit that share button. We got some comments on the feed. We got a hi, Walter, from Roxy.
Hey, Roxy. How you doing?
I don't get a hi. Like, yo ain't even say hi to me. Just say hi to the guests and shit. Didn't he shout the host out? Fuck the host. Like,
curse on this show?
Hell yeah, motherfuckers. Like,
we also got Brandon. He had a couple questions regarding the Ravens. We're going to get to that. Also, for Kareem Hunt, definitely going to get to that.
Oh yeah, we definitely got that Hunt's magic on on deck with our WTF moments of the week. So don't go anywhere about that. You guys, we still have Walter Slowe in the building, and as Walter said earlier, he's kind of a jack of all trades. I know him as the super awesome bartender slash actor slash, Baltimore Orioles homie. Yeah. We go way back with it, and I just found it so interesting that you've kind of taken your whole thing like left field with the whole track coaching deal. And I gotta ask, and I'd like for you to tell our listeners and our viewers, how did you get into track and being a coach at that? I mean, that's
seriously, it was one of those like moments where they say be careful what you ask for because you just might get it.
Okay.
And then it also is one of those things where it's like you never really know where the purpose is going to go, right? So I knew I wanted to give back to the village because I knew I was raised by the village, meaning there's a lot of people out here that'll probably watch this show and be like, yeah, we're on the journey of growing, right? It takes a village to raise a child, and I know I definitely am one of those people, right?
Right.
So then I always knew back in like the 80s there was a shirt that said each one teach one, so I always knew that. So then when I got to a certain point, it was like, all right, this is my time to give back, and I got to figure out how to do that. And then I also had 2 sons, so it was very difficult being an artist and also raising a kid and just life, right? Yeah. So during the bartending stage, that was like getting all the network and and whatever, that was the folly of my time, right? And then after that, it was a quest of being an artist, and I was like, when we started creating with Roxy, we started creating the show, and we created You Will Know. That was like an answer of the prayer of 25 years of wanting to do different things on the art level, create film, create music, perform, write comedy, make jokes. It was just, it was like a lot of things, but simultaneously, the show was about me getting fired from my regular State Farm assurance job.
You didn't wear the khakis.
Right? And then I did wear the khakis, you know what I'm saying? I totally committed. I did. I took all the cool clothes off, my fitted caps and all that, and put the shirt on and the tie and all that. Yeah. And I'm sitting there and I was just like, I don't know. I'm not really making money. I'm not really good at this. And my boss at the time, Marisol Johnson, State Farm agency, please, anybody need insurance, please go. She's sitting there and she's trying everything she can to get me to get this right. Right. And all my coworkers, it's all ladies. They're all trying to get me to get it right. And I'm doing my best, but I'm really dumb. I'm not that smart. So simultaneously, I get a job as an after-school thing with Larry Simmons.
Oh, shout out to Larry. What up, Larry?
So Larry's sitting there, and I'm like trying to get a job with Larry because I'm really trying to return back to what's comfortable. Yeah. No one wants to be in the uncomfortable zone. So I'm trying to return what's comfortable, and then meanwhile, I'm doing that at Montebello, and we're doing like hip hop theater, and I'm like all happy, and this B-side, and Larry, and it's me and the kids, and it's like I'm so pumped, But I'm still State Farm by the day, after school guy at night. So that goes on for a while until she actually fires me. And when she fires me, I'm just like, oh my God, she fires me. And she fired me like in tears. So it made it really funny because I never got fired and she's crying while she's firing me. Like I am that dumb, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, oh my God, you're so stupid, but I gotta fire you. Oh. So it was just meant to happen, and then she rehired me.
Oh wow.
So now I'm sitting there and I'm really like, got my job back, you know, it's life. I'm still not making that much money. And homie said to me, he says, well, if you're going to do something for the kids or you're going to do it for money, you should do it for the kids. And I was like, it resonated with me. Mm-hmm. And so I did. I decided I was going to just go ahead and do this for the kids or for what I wanted to give back. So I ended up working for the Y, and I met a guy named Dante Samuels.
Dante the coach, what up? Yo, you just shouting out all my people.
It was like for real, Village. The beard and everything, and the coach is riding through, saving the universe, and one kid at a time. And I'm just like, wow. Yeah. I was just pouring drinks, saving one baby mama at a time, you know?
Or making one baby mama.
You had dreads back then. Stop playing. Stop playing. I need you doing neo soul. Don't let's be nice. We're all nice here. We're all gonna be nice. Mark.
I feel like there's a whiskey dick comment in there.
Yes. Wow. This is really you guys are. I'm back.
Just a bit
let's
outside.
Get back to Coach Slowe. Okay,
let's get back inside.
Let's get in. Okay, so now I get an offer to go to a company called Playworks.
Okay.
So at the time, Playworks was like the superheroes of youth advocacy. Okay. And everybody knows Honor. So Honor was one.
What up, Honor?
Honor was like the captain of the X-Men. She was super happy and nice and urban and good and just juice. It was spicy. Yes, everything was wonderful. And I learned a little bit about inclusive behavior. I learned a little bit about mindfulness. I learned a little bit about just like, trying to get us to work together. And that just aligned with what I was craving. Mm-hmm. So the universe and that universal talk, that attraction, is just building us closer to moving.
Hold that thought. We're going to take commercial break. You guys don't go anywhere. We got more with Walter Slowe.
It's universe. We're talking about the universe now.
Just a bit outside.
The universe.
I'm LeVar Burton, and I'm proud to be a book person. How do I choose a book? Sometimes it's the cover, sometimes it's the title. I guess I'm pretty visual. If a book's really impressing me and the writing is really good, I will peek and see what the last paragraph is, because the endings of books should rock you. I am a book person, and if you're a book person too, read to a child and spark a lifetime of ambition. Join me at bookpeopleunite.org, because reading is fundamental. A public service announcement brought to you by Reading is Fundamental, Library of Congress, and the Ad Council.
Green light. Hey girl, school zone. I'm getting hungry. Car changing lanes. You want to meet me for pizza? Stop sign. Intersection clear. Yeah, street. Pizza sounds good. Ballin' Street? Girlin' Street!
It's hard to concentrate on two things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstopwrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit stoptextstopwrecks.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Green light. Hey girl, school zone. I'm getting hungry. Car changing lanes. You want to meet me for pizza? Stop sign. Intersection clear. Yeah, street. Pizza sounds good. Ballin' Street? Girlin' Street!
It's hard to concentrate on two things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at stoptextstopwrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Join the club that gives you stuff.
Hey, thanks!
Radio Loyalty.
Here's how it works.
Just click on the Radio Loyalty banner right now and sign up. Then you keep on listening like you already do. But now you earn points. Those points add up, and you can trade them in for stuff in the Radio Loyalty store. Earn more points by sharing your station with friends on Facebook and Twitter, answering surveys, and by using the apps in the New Players App Store. Pretty simple, right?
Radio Loyalty.
Click that banner to join now.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Hey, y'all. Are you back now?
We are back.
Hey. Cool. Hey, everybody. All right, dude, dance. We need all the views for real. I'm trying. Oh, listen. Okay, everybody at home. Did not realize it's a Ravens stadium is behind me, so it's like I'm kind of like.
You don't like our view?
I love it. I just didn't know. I was just like, I wanted to just let people know at home. Look, I made it. Mama, I made it. I made it.
I didn't even go to like some stand-up comedy open mic. I'm sorry.
Man, you don't even know how funny this guy really is.
Listen, it really is like my thing. I love building these like jokes for real. I love doing it. And then when it doesn't go well, I'm always like, oh man, maybe I shouldn't really ever tell a joke like that. So then I'll call Roxy.
Oh shit.
So that I can tell her the joke, and then she's brave enough to tell the joke, I guess. So it's kind of like that. So just to make it real quick, then once I got to Playworks and I started getting into the classrooms or whatever, I actually go in the classroom and do like a whole like 45 minutes of that time.
Okay.
And we do like culture building, goals, values, how to keep your focus, holidays. I get a chance, my principal, Dr. Drummond, she's super awesome. She's such a progressive, wonderful visionary for allowing autonomy and like getting in mind with growth mindset way before the curve. And the development of my program over the years started with Playworks, but now it's just moved into partnerships with Game On Fitness, which is Coach Dante's wellness program, Cowabunga Fitness at Federal Hill, Coach Jimmy Bonner. And then these partnerships that have grown, we've grown in that time period. So all these years of us doing this and now like seeing it kind of catching growth in my school, where in the morning, man, I'm playing music key. Like I'm playing like John Coltrane and like I'm playing cultural icons and we're playing the 80s, you know what I mean? Like kids are like coming together like bopping on disco and they don't even know, they're only like 3 years old. Who's Kescia and the Sunshine Band? They have no idea. They're just doing a little dance, make a little love, get down tonight. Yeah. Let's get down tonight.
Kids love good music. Because I can tell you what, my son, his mom took him to go see Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yes.
9 years old, biggest Queen fan you'll ever see right now.
See,
are you serious?
I'm passionate about
That's
it.
pretty fucking awesome.
Yeah.
And actually, he just told me over the weekend. So his mom's boyfriend has a whole bunch of guitars and stuff.
Right.
And in school, he learned a little bit of a "We Will Rock You" chord on the violin.
Nice.
So he was messing around with electric guitar at mom's house, and he like just played it.
Yeah.
From memory in front of mom, and he said mom was just amazed.
Yeah.
Wow.
Right.
That's pretty awesome.
And like the name of the show, just a bit outside the box. I am one to believe that it's okay to be just a bit outside the box. I realized that I was not just an actor. I was not just the bartender. I was not just the father. I was not just the community builder. We are all these things.
Absolutely.
And it's okay to be so complex. They say spinning all the plates or a jack of all trade, ruler of none. No, I'm a master of my destiny.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? That's 10,000 hours of service to your benefit and yourself. And then mentors like John Taylor, the Kinderman. Kindersize will make you wise only if you realize what you see, imagination is the key. Breathing in and breathing out, that's what life is all about. See, this is real right here.
You only gonna know that if you Baltimore City for real.
Thank you! And they're still at home, still talking, they still saying it. They're singing Friends, 1, 2, 3.
Yeah.
When I go into my pre-K class and I start singing Friends, 1, 2, 3, John Taylor, that takes me back to when I was 14 years old, sitting across from this man, and we making that song, or him singing it, and us singing it to kids when I was little. So I'm only doing a continuation of what I was already doing my whole entire life.
Right.
So it's like your whole idea of this, I'm going to train and I'm going to become, and if you're doing this, then you have to do this. People have a very hard time believing that we can evolve and that we can grow. And I think, being in this developmental of youth, they help me more than I help them. They heal me, the faculty, the teachers, the good morning every day, the holding hands when they're walking, partnering up, going to the bathroom, the arguments that get resolved after people actually talk to each other, the disagreement with the referee that I have because I'm telling him he's making the worst call and he's destroying my life. But I have to calm myself down.
Right.
My girls in my basketball team, I can't yell at them. I can't do the coach. What are you doing? I gotta like learn a whole nother language. So here's what my girls do. I gotta learn language. So I gotta bond with them. So now, Key, guess what I'm doing every time the shot goes in? Ow.
Oh, no, you know.
Yes, I am. Ew. Ew. I'm like, what are you like? And now, honestly, that's what I'm doing now. I'm doing this now because that's it. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's how I burned it. Yeah. That's how I got in.
That's what's up.
That's what we did to get to the point where we're doing a layup when they say you can't score more than 11 points in a girls' basketball game. When they say that you can't give girls complicated plays or movement to score. Every time they told me I couldn't do something, I decided I wanted to do it, and I did it at all costs, with by any means necessary, because of the fact that no one should tell you what you should do.
Absolutely. Man, I love it.
Nobody should tell you what you should do. You should be able to go in, make a goal for yourself, make a value for yourself, and I don't care if you're 2 years old. Today, your commitment is to learn the color. Can you do that for me? Yes, I can. I can do that for you. And they'll say, Coach Slowe, this kid didn't talk. This kid can talk. He can talk. DeAndre, a kid, one of my school. DeAndre, more than coaching, outside the box. DeAndre had a speech impediment. DeAndre was tossing chairs, you know, doing things. It was coming out. The aggression was coming out. Took him on a one-on-one. This kid could talk. This kid could do the math. This kid could read. It took some talking to him, listening to him, and a whole bunch of people loving him in that building to get him to the point where he was where he is now, probably today. And after 7 years, I'm just proud because check this out, Keys. I knew a lot of people in the bar, right?
Yeah.
When I first got to Hamilton, my student, when I first got there, is now a freshman in college.
Damn. So you get to watch that whole journey.
I worked from pre-K all the way to 8th grade.
Right on.
So all day long, everything I ever put into a play, everything I ever read in a book, W.E.B. Du Bois, Booker T. Washington, Sonia Sanchez, Public Enemy, Bob Marley, Eric Badu. You know, we keep moving on and on. Yeah. Daryl Hall and John Oates. We keep moving more and on. Duran. Affairs.
Hey.
Prince, Michael Jackson.
That's what's up.
Michael Jordan. Kobe Bryant. No limits, right?
We're going to bring it back to the home team. And since you're talking about young bloods, we have to talk about the young bloods. Let's talk about our young blood. Lamar Jackson and the Baltimore Ravens went on the road. They went down to the ATL, shorty. And I know a whole lot of people that went down there and enjoyed everything that is Atlanta. And y'all know what I mean. Yo, Ravens, big win, especially since, and I don't know who came up with this. The Ravens were 2.5-point underdogs. That was the closing, the closing line, the last line, right? Wow. So you know I jumped all over that. I mean, I was amazed that the Ravens started off as only 2-point favorites.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, we did like a little preview the last show. You know, I spoke about Matt Ryan. I spoke about the Julio Jones or absence thereof. Okay, they had already lost Freeman, which was their premier running back, and you know the Ravens they just picked up where they left off. You know, with the Oakland Raiders. I mean, they still look good to me, and in a game where they could have they could have lost that game. They could have lost that game. I mean, road games are never easy in the NFL. And I believe we even put a people's poll question out there for the game this week. Mark, didn't we?
We did.
You put it out there.
I put it out there, and maybe we'll pose the question to you, because I don't care what the percentages or anything were. I'm going to say right off the bat that people got it wrong because they just didn't comprehend the question.
Right.
They looked at the GIFs. Yes, I pronounce it GIFs. I don't care if you're a GIF person or not.
GIFs. But why don't you let's put with the poll question. Yeah.
The question was, at the time, it was looking like Lamar was going to start. Going to Atlanta, knowing that we weren't a good road team with a rookie quarterback, were we going to get the W or were we going to get the L? The GIFs, the W had Lamar, and the L had Flacco just sitting on the ground, head down. And every single place we posted this blew up into a Lamar Flacco fight.
Right.
Yeah.
Wow.
But the poll, it did like heavily favored Lamar.
Yeah.
I am a real Ravens fan. So, and then when we talk Ravens quarterbacks in history, Tony Banks, Kyle Bowler, Vinny Testaverde, Elvis Gerbach.
Yeah.
I mean, we've really had some horrible quarterbacks. I mean, let's just be honest.
Yeah.
So when you start talking about Joey Flacco, and you notice I call him Joey Flacco, that's my dude. Like, I like Joey Flacco. Okay. Now, the reason why, sorry. Now, I'll catch flack for this, right? Yeah. But I'm okay with catching the flack, okay? Because I can't think of another quarterback other than Joey Flacco, and the only other quarterback that I think that I really liked was Trent Dilfer. Not just because he won a Super Bowl, but I actually met Trent. And when I met Trent, he was so legit. Now, I'm going to get in trouble for this too. Probably can't even go back to my hood. I'm probably get beat up on this.
He ain't going to be able to come back on this show.
It's coming. I feel the heat. Look at my seat getting hot. Real quickly, Lamar Jackson, I just didn't want nothing to happen to him.
Okay.
Yes.
I'm not a running quarterback person.
You were saying from a coach's standpoint.
And from a coach's standpoint, I want Karen prevention at all times. RG3, we hurt him. Like our team, the Ravens hurt him. So him being there is kind of like, sorry, we kid, we'll eat our food. Like that's like, let me make you a meal. Let me get you a warm drink. So during the Falcons, I thought, okay, here we go, because Lamar was struggling a little bit at times. He didn't look confident. The ball getting tripped out your hand, that makes me nervous. Because then I think your arm is about to come off. That's me talking. Let's go slow for real.
Yeah.
I think your arm coming off. So now I said to myself, here comes RG3. Maybe he'll show him how to be a pocket quarterback.
Okay.
But I do like what Mr. Jackson is doing.
Yes.
I like the growth. I like what the team is doing.
There it is.
I like what they're taking care of him. When he scored the touchdown, I loved every offensive lineman just coming over to him. So excited for him.
Right.
That made me feel like he's going to be safe.
And we're not really used to seeing that, though, too much.
Oh, here we go.
You know what I'm saying? But see this, let's talk about the intangibles.
Okay.
Yo, let's bring some swag to the offense, man.
It's true.
Seriously,
it's
you know what I mean?
It's true.
But 1 minute, okay, all right. Let's see a leader, an animated leader, somebody that's really out there. I'm over that Joe Cool shit, man. Like, I'm serious. No, I'm serious. I want to see, somebody to get these guys going, and that's one of the reasons why I admire Patrick Mahomes so much, is because that boy is a leader, and he's young. You know what I mean? Like, he's able to get these guys who have many more years of experience over him to rally behind them and fire them up, man.
Right.
We need to get. We've never had that really on offense.
That's
you
true.
know what I'm saying?
True.
Like,
That's true.
in the early years of the Ravens, we was getting by on field goals, dog.
True.
Field goals. Our Super Bowl season was nothing but field goals.
This last game.
Yeah. So, I mean, you know, but we got to go to break. Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, you guys, we got to go to break. When we come back, we're going to talk more about the Ravens. And we're also going to have some what the fuck moments of the week. So don't go anywhere.
What the?
Just a bit outside.
What the?
So, Jacqueline.
Yes, Mom?
I wanted to talk to you about something and... Oh, wait. Hold on. I just got a text. Oh, there's another one. Wow. Busy, busy me. So, anyway...
Oh, wait, Mom. I just got a message. My friends keep commenting on my comment. Oh, there's another one. So many comments on my comment.
Oh, I can't wait to watch TV tonight. Playoffs!
Hey, guys, check out my new video game. Pew, pew. Wait. Mom, what? Huh?
What? Hold
What'd
on.
you say? Wait a second, what?
This weekend, unplug. Take your family to the forest. There's nothing in the world like experiencing nature firsthand. Trees, paths, bluebirds, streams. Getting closer to nature can get you closer to your family. To find the forest nearest you, go to discovertheforest.org. Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
Hi, I'm LeVar Burton, and I'm proud to be a book person. How do I choose a book? Sometimes it's the cover, sometimes it's the title. I guess I'm pretty visual. If a book's really impressing me and the writing is really good, I will peek and see what the last paragraph is. Because the endings of books should rock you. I am a book person, and if you're a book person too, read to a child and spark a lifetime of ambition. Join me at bookpeopleunite.org because reading is fundamental. A public service announcement brought to you by Reading is Fundamental, Library of Congress, and the Ad Council.
Just a Bit Outside radio show.
There is one glaring stat that I read about while watching the games over the weekend. New York Yankees went 22 straight innings with at least one strikeout.
Really?
That's a major league record for the postseason.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's an interesting statistic.
It is, you know, and then when you think about it, it's like, okay, you know, that, to me, that's like a big reason why, you know, they're losing right now.
The Artist Exchange Radio Show every Friday, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., every Saturday, 12 p.m. to 2 p.m. Real artist, real talk, real live on BeExposedRadio.com. I was meeting with a friend yesterday, and I've gotten to the point where don't ask me a question because the truth is going to come out.
Exactly.
Just don't do it.
If you ain't looking for the truth, don't come to me.
Don't do it because I can't hold my tongue. And she wants to be this stylist, boutique, but you're not doing anything in that nature, and I can't take you seriously if you're not doing those things. And I understood why people didn't take me seriously because I found myself in somebody else's lane. I was good at what I was doing and what I wanted to.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
And McGee.
Oh, yeah, we got the whip. All right, you guys, we are back. We are back. Just a Bit Outside Radio. We've been talking about the Ravens, Lamar Jackson. I think when we left off, Walt was talking about Lamar Jackson's performance. He made mention of losing the ball.
Yeah.
He's a rookie. Rookie mistakes are going to come.
Yes.
You know, how do you respond to that?
And that's what we talked about before. Was he's a rookie. I'm expecting him to have like a terrible game, and I just hope all the people that were attacking him, when that happens, they don't like go overboard on it, and all the people that were like, oh, you know, Lamar is next, that they don't jump ship and be like, we got another second quarterback. But he kind of. That second quarter against Atlanta, he did not look good. There was that massively overthrown ball to John Brown. He made his rookie mistakes. The defense was enough to shore it up. He had like 17 rushes in the game, which I think is a little bit like you talk about, you know, one of that player safety. But like you said, progression. That's a good thing.
It's a scary space, I think, that they got put in because of the pressure from Flacco and everybody wanting it to be done or wanting it to be changed, which I get completely. I just feel like it's not going to get easier. Not that it's supposed to, but I get scared when you start to, if your game becomes one-dimensional. Like I saw somebody say something like it's going to take a whole year for a defense to really figure out him, which I get that. Like,
yeah,
you can't
I would agree with that.
I would agree with it, but like you get to a point where now we are at that point where in the playoffs, you know, I think we learned that from the Saints game. Like if you get a determined offense, they're not going to really play games when it comes to that pressure. And the same thing goes for a determined defense. And at where he's at right now, I feel like I just don't want the offense to become one-dimensional for him to be like the saving grace. I think Joey has shoulders to hold that up a little bit. I wouldn't want him to be put in that position right away.
It's kind of funny that you said you mentioned a determined offense, and that is exactly what they are about to face Sunday with the Kansas City Chiefs. I am really looking forward to this game. I think this game is going to be very entertaining. We have two quarterbacks that are, you know, somewhat similar in their style of play and also with their position with their teams. You know, two rookies that are, you know, going under center, being a leader in the NFL for the first time. Doing very well. We all know Patrick Mahomes has been fantastic. He's breaking, you know, records. He's got this Kansas City team at the top of the AFC, in my opinion. You know, I'm pretty sure there's some people out there that would like to fight me on that one, but to me, there's no better team than the Kansas City Chiefs right now. This is going to be the test. You know, you got 2 wins at home, you got 1 on the road. And to me, that is impressive. You know what I mean? You got a nice 3-game win streak. Now you got a real opponent. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't care what anybody says. Atlanta was not a real opponent because, for real, Atlanta is booty huff this season. You know, that's why I said I was surprised that they were only favored by 2 points in the beginning. You know, that was surprising to me. But, you know, now that you have an opponent that, I mean, that offense, you know, and this is going to be a big test for the defense as well. We're going to really see what that defense is about because that's one high-powered offense. Even with them losing Hunt, I mean, he's pretty much gone for the season, right?
Oh, yeah.
We're going to talk about that in a minute, too. We're going to get that WTF. You know, Tyreek Hill, Mahomes. I mean, I got, you know, I talk about Tyreek every week because he's on my fantasy team. I mean, he is money.
I don't have any problem with the Ravens stopping the Kansas City run game. I think they're running by committee right now. They're looking for that answer, and I think that the answer is not going to be found when you're playing the Ravens on the run side. I just don't think that's going to be the answer to the question. Because I mean, unless you are deliberately coaching it so that you're dealing with that, it's hard enough to run against the Ravens. That's what I'm thinking. Like, it's hard enough even if you got your premier running back that's doing 100-yard games against the Ravens. That's a lot of that offensive line gotta work hard. You know what I'm saying? And I just, not that they can't, but I think we played against Andy Reid before.
Oh yeah.
So Mike made a comment.
Sure.
And we know Mike is in the Kescia camp. DJ Delight. He's in the Kescia camp of Flacco hating. Right. Put it what it is. And I think it leads into a great question. Mike says, can we just put a hit out on Flacco? Somebody lay him out if he starts on Sunday. Law.
Oh my God.
No. So I'm just gonna say.
See, Mike. Come on, Mike. Come on, Mike. We got Super Bowl rings, Mike. Come on, Mike.
So that brings up the question, though. We're on this 3-game win streak. Who's going to start?
I think there's no question that Lamar Jackson should be starting. You know, I mean, you've built a chemistry. You got a nice momentum, and I can't stress this enough. 3 games ago, before he even took a damn snap, what state was the Ravens in? What position was the Ravens in? Dog, we was wishing, hoping, and praying on that final wild card spot. And now we looking like we strong. You know what I mean? Like, we strong.
We're looking like we
and people are all of a sudden now, the Ravens is that team that you don't want to see in the playoffs. They weren't saying that shit 3 weeks ago. know?
Right.
So, I mean, do you mess that up? I don't think so. If John wants to keep his job, I don't think you messed that up.
The Steelers have the next 4 games. They should go 2-2, but if they take a sudden loss, we could actually win the division still.
Hell yeah.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. Like, look where we were 3 weeks ago. Look where we at now.
I mean, the Steelers look strong. Like, let's not get it twisted. The Steelers look really, really strong.
Yeah, they was some booty huffs last night.
But, yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's any given Sunday. That's the way I look at it. It's any given Sunday. And I think, no, I would not start Flacco. I think that just doesn't even get us where we want to go. Do I feel like this is going to be this kid's biggest game of his life? I think everybody knows it is. Do I think he's going to step up to the challenge of, like, doing some of the things that he already naturally does? I think so. You know, I just don't know how confident I am in him yet. Like, just because of the fact that I don't think he should be doing it by himself.
Yeah.
I think it has to get, like, that running game has to go. What's the guy's name? What's the running back's name? Dick Collins. I like him.
We lost him for the season.
Yeah, but Dickerson, Donaldson? What's the guy's name that's in the backfield now?
Oh, gosh.
It's Donaldson or...
Is it Donaldson?
I don't know.
I don't know. It begins with a D.
It's something, son.
Something like that.
Yeah. But he looks good. He's a tall guy. He runs straight.
Yeah.
He's not like a low to the ground bouncer.
Right.
Off the backfield or off that line. But if we get our running game established with Kansas City, I'll feel comfortable.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
What I really want to see, and I want to see them repeat yesterday. Our defense has been great the last 3 weeks, finally, because they were crap also before this. And maybe they got some of that residual fire burn going from Lamar going in. But we need the offense to control the ball like they did yesterday, because that time of possession was almost double of what Atlanta had it. We had the ball 39 minutes, 39 seconds. They had it 20 minutes, 21 seconds.
And that is one huge consistent characteristics from the 3 games. He puts together these long sustaining drives that eats up the clock. You know, like we said last week, I mean, he's putting together 11, 12, 13 play drives. I mean, and that's something, you know, that's a definite plus with a young rookie quarterback.
Do you still think it's repetitive offensive play calling, though, because of his limitations? Because that's what I felt like I was looking at. I felt like I was looking at do the things that you know, make it quick, don't hold on to the ball. Which I agree. Joey held on the ball too long.
And
if Flacco hold on to the ball, we're done. If he lets the ball go, we're fine. And I think the way our receivers are set up is those quick passes are most effective, especially for like Crabtree. Like, give it to him quick. Don't let him stay out there, and he's not that guy.
That running back was Kenneth Dixon.
That's his name.
Now, you bring up an interesting point. Now, when you have a young rookie quarterback and you're kind of trying to, you know, mature him and bring him along, don't you kind of want to, you know, you really don't want to throw too much at him? You see what I'm saying? Like you were saying, those quick passes, and they've really been working. I think it also, you know, works for the young quarterback that's kind of in training also. Because one, it's a confidence builder, and two, you know, you're managing the game well. You know what I mean? I feel like, you know, as the season goes on or as he plays more, they might get a little more exotic with the calling. But I think right now I think they're doing a good job not throwing too much at him and really, you know, trying to develop him as a quarterback in the league. You guys, we're going to take a quick commercial break. When we come back, I'm going to see if Walt will stick around for just a little bit longer. And we'll have our WTF moments of the week, and also our booty huff picks and who came through for week 13.
Booty huff.
Booty just huff. A bit outside.
I don't even know what booty huff is.
Whoa. The moment my son saw a redwood tree.
It's huge!
Is the moment I knew that for him,
you can't even see the top of that thing.
Even the sky has no limit.
There are some moments only the forest can inspire. Find yours at discovertheforest.org. Learn about forests near you and discover cool things to do when you go. Your moment is out there. Find it at discovertheforest.org.
Brought to you by the U.S. Forest Service and the Ad Council.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
Welcome back, Just a Bit Outside Radio Show. Mike, you're going off on the feed. You just got to come in the studio one night and just...
Well, call up, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Mike, flick passes. Flick passes.
And that music that you hear as we go in and out of break, come in the show and leave the show, that's all DJ Delight.
That's my man Mike.
Need him for parties, bar mitzvahs, funerals, as Kescia likes to say.
My mic sound nice.
We'll hook you up. We'll put him in contact with Mike if you need him for anything. So we're talking about the upcoming game, the Chiefs and the Ravens, after this week's great win. It's going to be a tough one.
It's going to be a tough one.
Yeah.
It's going to be a tough one.
Very entertaining game, and I can't wait to come up with a people poll question for this matchup, man. And
I almost posted something today, but
all right,
let's get through today's show first.
Yeah, we get through the show today. So let's round up this interview. We always like to do the Just a Bit Outside Fave 5, and today is no different, man. You know, one of the things that have always connected me and Walt is music. Nice. So you see how he got the big grin already. That's all I had to say, because you know we've had many of listening sessions, and we
glorified Sundays.
Yes, yes.
All those glorified Sunday
records. Bumping and grinding in the basement.
Put some hearts up.
Yeah, so what we're going to do is we're going to do our Just a Bit Outside Fave 5. So, you know, Walt, when you're riding around town or when you're gearing up for a track meet, getting these girls going on the basketball court, what 5 musical artists do you have in rotation right now? What are you listening to currently?
Wow, because I think I've heard you name like 35 artists.
Right. I mean, he's a music guy.
Listen,
he's a music guy.
I feel like what I listen to and they listen to are completely different things.
Yeah.
First and foremost. But I don't know. Lately, what's been really getting me going is Anderson .Paak.
Yes.
I am I'm late to the game.
I love Pac.
I love Anderson .Paak. He's coming through with the real energy.
Yes.
I like that energy. So I'll throw him in there. Gotta do this because we got Philly and Redskins, so I'm gonna have to go with the new album, Meek Millie Championships. I'm down with the Meek Mill. He's one of my favorites. Motivate. I'm ready for the tour. Meek. If you got some tickets for Coach Slowe, I'm down to go. Anybody who knows Meek. Let's see, and then of course. I've been listening to, I don't know, I'm kind of glad somebody's back. And we started listening to this artist, I think, together around the time when we started hanging out, which is Kid Cudi.
Oh, yes.
I'm kind of glad Cudi's back.
Yes,
I really like the whole, I know Kanye's controversial and all that, but that.
Kid See Ghost.
Yeah, that Kid See Ghost album is really, I've been moving with that. I like that, Reborn. I like Reborn. That's a good inspirational song as well. And I think last but certainly not least, I kind of want to throw in shout out for Roy Hargrove.
Oh man.
It's a jazz artist.
Yes. Come on, man. RH Factor. I'm all down.
Roy Hargrove passed away. And I did not know that. I did not know that.
Like 2 weeks late. I'm like,
the whole Erykah Badu acceptance speech, and then the picture came up on the screen, and I was like, oh wow.
Yeah.
I actually met him when I was younger.
Really? He's a hell of an artist, man. Hell of an artist.
Very gifted brother, man.
Yes.
Very gifted brother.
Yes.
Very gifted brother.
That was dope. That was dope. That was a nice Fave 5, man. I really
Thank you.
that.
Thank you. Oh, Big Sean.
Oh, yo,
bounce back.
Good one.
Big Sean. Big Sean is a good one too. I've been listening to a lot of old stuff though. I've been listening to Mike Jones.
Oh shit.
Back then.
You really take it.
Back then, y'all.
Alright, well, we're going to move on to our favorite segment brought to you by Killer Dogs. Killer Dogs out there on Bel Air Road.
Wow.
Got it right this time, yo. Check them out. If you like hot dogs, tell them Just a Bit Outside sent you. We're going to do our Booty Huff and Come Through picks of the week. this was the first time where it was kind of hard for me to pick a booty huff because there was so much booty shit going on this weekend in the NFL, man. Mark, I'm gonna let you kick this joint off, man. I'm gonna let you kick this joint off.
I'm gonna give a shout out to our good friend Howard Ray because my booty huff is in honor of him.
Yeah.
Green Bay Packers. What is going on with them? Perennial Super Bowl favorite, and really it looked like they, coming into the season, they'd be right there again. They go down in flames. I don't know how many losses in a row now. They lost to the Cardinals 20-17. Fire Mike McCarthy. And now there's talk that Rodgers and McCarthy didn't get along, were butting heads.
What is that shit about?
Yeah.
Right.
Ego.
Right, and for real, I don't know, man. Like a lot of those Packer fans are kind of glad that McCarthy is gone. But yo, I'm gonna have to give an honorary booty huff to Aaron Rodgers because if that is the truth, if that's the truth, I don't know about that. You know, I'm not a big fan of players getting coaches fired. You know.
Well, I don't know if he got him fired, but they just say they butted head.
A former Packer said he basically was his prima donna. He called him a prima donna, and he got him fired. A former Packer.
He was asked if he should have input on who the next head coach is, and he was like, that's the office. Like that's not me.
Oh well.
I'm just doing it on the field. And yeah, he's said he didn't need to be in on that. Which I mean, his career's coming to an end anyway.
Yeah.
He's up there.
All right.
Yeah. Well, I'm gonna tell you what. You know, Mike's not gonna have a hard time getting another job.
No.
You know, same thing when they fired Andy Reid, my mouth just dropped open. But the very next thing I said was, he's not gonna have a hard time getting another job. Kansas City picked his ass up just like that. You know, we're gonna be looking for another coach.
McCarthy was mentioned with the Ravens.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Listen, when y'all start talking about Coach Harbaugh like that, I just feel like that's what I feel about this McCarthy thing. It is the end of a culture. It's the end of a decade. And you know, it is a player-driven culture, and that scares me
Quarterback at that too.
Yeah, it scares me. It scares me when stuff like that happens. So, I mean, Harbaugh in general was like a really good experience for us, just like Flacco, but everybody has their time, and I think McCarthy probably had his time. And like you said, he's not going to be starving for a job.
I know.
I'd like to see him go to Tampa Bay, somewhere warm.
He put up with that Wisconsin cold for too damn long.
Right. I go completely against the whole thing. Miami. Look, Miami needs a real good experience.
Speaking of Miami, this leads to my booty huff pick of the week. We're gonna take that down to the 305?
Yeah.
Miami. The Buffalo Bills played the Miami Dolphins. It was a pretty interesting game. There were a lot of lead changes. Yo, I don't know if anybody saw this, but Charles Clay, the tight end for the Buffalo Bills, dog, you are booty huff as shit. Did you see that?
Andre is saying that's the same booty huff for him.
Yes. So, we are down to the final seconds of the game. We are down to the final play of the game. The Buffalo Bills had the ball. The quarterback, Allen, who has struggled throughout the whole game, but he was poised to win this game, dog. It was 17-21. Okay, he drops back. He goes to throw the pass. Right. Everybody is condensed in one section of the end zone. Charles Clay is standing by himself in the end zone. Allen throws the ball to him and he dropped it.
He didn't just throw the ball. He had to scramble.
Right, I'm just saying he managed. That's what I'm saying. Yo, he was gonna win this game. He threw it right to him and just dropped the ball in the end zone. Time was out. The game is over. I mean, my mouth dropped open when I saw that. I was like, oh, that's my booty huff pick right there. You can't get more booty huff than that. Game-winning play in the end zone by yourself and you drop the ball. Dog, you wouldn't play another damn snap if you was on my team. I'm serious. You wouldn't. You wouldn't. The Bills needed that win too.
I had him on my pick 'em.
Bammers.
Andre dropped him off fantasy 2 years ago, he said.
Yeah, man, I'll never forget that one. That was rough. That was rough. And then I got to do one more booty huff pick of the week, and it's gonna go with the Indianapolis Colts. Ooh. I told you guys, I don't know what the hell everybody is smoking when it comes to Andrew Luck, But yo, this team is not good. It's not good. It's not a good team. I'm serious.
By the way, when's the last time before this week that we saw an NFL game end 6-0?
Right.
Yeah. We had a couple shutouts at the beginning of the season, though.
We had shutouts,
We
but
did.
nothing like
Not 6-0, right. I mean, that game was like watching paint dry. I mean, it was
and it
really
wasn't a
bad.
good defensive game that ended 6-0. It was just trash.
Yeah, and the fact that, you know, Andrew Luck and everybody's saying, oh, Andrew Luck's on the coming back. Yo, them Bama's couldn't score 1 point yesterday. And I picked the Jaguars to win yesterday.
Did you?
Yes, I did, because I don't believe in Andrew Luck and I don't believe in the Colts. I don't know what anybody is seeing right now because they had a little buzz prior to this game. You know, like, oh, Andrew Luck's turning the corner. He's coming back, blah, blah, blah. No. They are who we think they are.
And the Jaguars were on like a 7-game losing streak after like looking great last season. So I went with the Colts.
Yeah. Yep, well, they got you fooled.
They got me.
Yeah, the rest of America fooled, but I'm not fooled. So those are your Booty Huff picks of the week. Yo, who came through for their squads yesterday?
Chargers.
Yes.
Chargers.
And honorary Booty Huff to the Steelers. Fuck
Chargers
y'all
did
doing?
us right by taking down the Steelers a notch. Half a game now between the Ravens and the Steelers. And I think the Chargers are a team that, despite how they do own the AFC West, they just don't get the credit they deserve.
Yeah.
People are so in love with the Chiefs right now that
I see the Chiefs breaking down before I see I'll see the Chargers go up a little bit.
Yeah.
The only reason why is because the Chargers traditionally are so scrappy about it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think Kansas City is sort of like the Eagles in a way.
Yeah.
Like when they're on, they're totally on. And then when you kind of disrupt that a little bit, which that's what I'm hoping that the Ravens will do, is just give them a little disrupt because that running back by committee is just is too much to be. It's just an opportunity waiting to happen. And I feel like the Chargers are opportunity waiting to happen all the time. Like they don't ever, it's no, oh, it's done for them.
Yeah.
They're used to getting this scrappy win. It's kind of like the Lions.
Yeah. I was going to say, you know, like, Phillip Rivers and Matthew Stafford, I just feel so bad for them. You know what I mean? Like, yo, okay, even this is the crazy thing.
I don't know about Stafford.
Even though the Chargers beat the Steelers last night, what was the big fucking story when we woke up this morning? That Phillip Rivers has 9 kids.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I saw plastered all over ESPN.
He has 9 kids?
Yes, his humongous family and how he can run his own offense with his own family.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? It's just like, you know,
how many baby mamas?
Oh, just one. He's married.
Is he Mormon?
Yeah, I don't know. I did not say that. Okay.
What is going on? They told me this was Ravens Stadium in the background. Help.
All right. So look, check it
Get
out.
out. Y'all hear the stir it up? I'm in a sunken place.
I'm gonna give you my come through pick of the week, and a lot of people aren't gonna like this, but I gotta shout them out. Hold up, we them boys. Gotta shout out them Cowboys, boy. I got to shout out them Cowboys for stopping the win streak of the surging New Orleans Saints, making Drew Brees look mortal, very much mortal. I mean, he only got me 9 points. I'm so pissed. He only got me 9 points.
Listen, the Cowboy enthusiasm is kind of real.
Yeah.
I mean,
right
there's some confidence coming out of the team.
Yes.
And that is kind of frightening in a sense because, you know what I'm saying? Like, it's real for them.
Yeah.
Whoever's coming up on them.
They, you know, we all know that New Orleans Saints has a very high-powered offense. You could almost say the highest powered offense in the NFL. Because, I mean, to me, outside of the Kansas City Chiefs, who scores faster than the New Orleans Saints?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? What quarterback? I mean, I can honestly say I don't think that there's any other quarterback other than Drew Brees who has, you know, over 30, 40 yards, that many like touchdown passes. I mean, you know, Drew Brees will knock you down.
Soon they're just a bit outside.
Of course, we got, you know, catch and run and everything like that, and that also speaks to the strength of their receivers. But the Cowboys were able to limit the New Orleans Saints to 10 points. 10 points. I mean, we're used to seeing the Saints put up 30, 40 points easy. 50 burger. You know what I mean? Easy. And this was a game that a lot of people had thought that the Saints had, had it in the bag. And I often wonder if they underestimated the Cowboys. Because even though they were on this little win streak, you didn't think that Dallas had a chance. I mean, screaming Stephen A. posted that video laughing, and I told your mother.
That's the whole reason I blame him.
I told your mother the second that I saw that, I was like, Dallas is going to win the game. I said, he should not have done that. And, they came out there. Zeke was looking really good. I mean, he ate them alive in that second half. I can't remember how many yards he finished up with for the night, but Ezekiel Elliott tore him apart.
Listen, Dax and Zeke.
Yeah.
That combo is like for real. It's not a game.
It's good to see them kind of getting back to what they were doing last year.
1 minute.
1 minute? Okay. All right, so who's your come-through pick?
Oh, I said the Chargers.
Oh, okay, you got the Chargers. Okay, all right, so you got the Chargers. I got the Dallas Cowboys, and even though we already talked about them, I gotta give Lamar Jackson an honorary come through because he didn't look his best, but they managed the game well and they got that win on the road, And like I said, 3-game win streak. As a Ravens fan who has been in despair for a good part of the season, I'm happy now, dog. I'm happy.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you guys, when we come back, we're gonna do our WTF moments of the week. We'll give you our final updates, and we're gonna wrap this thing up, man. And hey, Walt, thanks a lot for coming through, man. We really appreciate you.
I appreciate y'all. Appreciate you a lot. It's so good. Thank you for your time. Our universe.
Shout out to Hamilton Elementary /
Hey, go home.
We'll be out there. We'll be out there in the spring to check y'all squad out.
I want them to come to our school.
Dang.
I see y'all.
I had to bring the squad up in here.
Let's go. Y'all can come and do a live feed or something. It'll be nice. That'll be good.
Right,
I'm excited. I'm excited.
All right. You guys don't go anywhere. Just a bit outside.
Join the Just a Bit Outside crew every Monday, 8 to 10 p.m. on BeExposedRadio.com.
You want to start off?
I think I'll get it out of the way on a who's not.
Okay, do it.
The Orioles.
Right.
They got swept by the Royals. They lost 4 in a row, and the last 5 games have all been decided by 1 run. The game before, or the last game that they lost before the Royals was the Nationals, and it was Weeders, of course, one with a home run.
Hit the home run.
Right. They were going into that National Series. It seemed like they were doing so well, and they just crapped out. They got that game postponed, so who knows when they're going to replay that or play that game. That's my first not for the night.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and weigh in on my who's not, and I'm going to talk about the San Diego Padres.
The Padres. That's okay. You just took my answer.
They're in last place in the NL West. They've lost 8 of their last 10. Their run differential is a negative 65, which is just horrible. So when you have, well, let me just talk about run differential a little bit. It's kind of like the
how much you're winning or losing your games by, pretty much.
Yeah. Okay. It's like the margin of victory, kind of.
Right.
So when you're in a negative number, that means that you're.
Then your average game you're losing
by a whole lot.
Right.
I mean, a number like negative 65, this early in the season is pretty rough.
That's horrible.
Then the pitching numbers pretty much support this stat right here. I mean, the team ERA is 4.70, which is 26th in the league. They have 126 walks allowed. They acquired Jared Weaver in the offseason, and he really has not panned out. He's off to one of the worst starts in any of the pitchers in 2017. He's 0-4 with a 6.05 ERA. In May alone, he already has 12 earns run.
You are listening to BeExposedRadio.com.
welcome back to the Outside Radio Show, BeExposedRadio.com. You're checking us out, Facebook, YouTube. Hit that share button at the bottom of the page. Share to your page, tell your friends, tell everyone. It's been an exciting night. Thank you to Walter for stopping on by, Coach Slowe. Mike is still tearing it up on the feed. He says, if he is in the next game and we win, I will come in for that segment. I think he's talking about Lamar.
Yeah, he's talking about Lamar. I'm going to hold you to that, Mike.
Yeah.
And I got to shout out my homeboy, Mike Banks. I know you watching, homie, and I got you on that bottle. And, you know, I've been thinking, I know you want to double or nothing that bet. Let's do it. You heard it here first. You got it on there. We're going to double or nothing that joint. But see, it's between the Saints and the Steelers, 12-23. So that's going to be a good game. So I'm at the roll with the North. We are the North. So I got to go with the AFC North on that one, baby. So I hope as much as I hate them, I hope them boys come through for me because I'm definitely not trying to buy 2 bottles. So, Mike, it's a bet, baby. It's a bet. We're going to double or nothing that joint. And I'll talk to you soon.
Real quick, because we're in the last segment of the show, got to wrap it up, but our WTFs of the week.
Really quickly, we don't want to spend a whole lot of time because it's so fucking horrendous.
Obviously, here in Baltimore, we're aware of how players are seen with domestic violence and everything. Kareem Hunt of the Chiefs, a very integral part of their running game. We knew about some accusations from February of 2018. Well, video dropped, what was it, Friday, I think?
Yep.
And a video of the altercation they had with a woman, and it didn't look good. He kicked her. He broke free from the people holding him back and pushed her. Almost immediately, the Chiefs said he was suspended, and then the commissioner of the NFL put him on the commissioner's exempt list, so he wasn't allowed to play. Period. And shortly after that, the Chiefs cut him. So he's without a team, and he even said he doesn't hold any ill will against the Chiefs. He knows it was in their best interest and he expected it. So sounds like he's kind of handling it okay, but you know, you do what you do, you're gonna
okay right now, but
face the consequences.
In a couple of weeks, maybe even a month, people be crying real tears, dog, because that shit is just crazy. So that's kind of a national WTF. We all know about that. My WTF is more local and it really hits close to home for me. One of our former guests and former soccer coach for Mercy High School, Ernest Jackson, has gotten into a bit of trouble up at Mercy High School. As a nutshell, just in a nutshell, he basically was caught sexually assaulting a student there. Of course, he is now dealing with the authorities, and he has been fired from Mercy High School. I do know Ernest, and I do know that he is a good guy in a very unfortunate situation at a very prestigious school. I mean, Mercy has been out there, and they've been doing so well, and they've come a long way. Certainly not a blemish on Mercy High School. And that's something that, my heart goes out to Mary Beth Lennon. My heart goes out to Nick Gill and everybody at the community, man. We'll all get through this together. And that's just all I'm going to say about that for right now. Let's end this show on a good note, though. Mark, do we have a feel good for the week?
We do. First of all, feel good. Eagles are up 7-3.
Yay!
But I really like this feel good so much that I'm going to say it again. We posted up a video on the page yesterday. I think it was yesterday. A young man, Frank Kalarafiki. I totally mangled that. He's suffering from brain cancer. The Ravens did him a solid. Brought him in, signed him to a one-day deal as a quarterback. Took him out to the Castle in Owings Mills where he met the team when they were practicing. And if you watch the video, he holds the ball when Justin Tucker does a practice kick. They put him in for a play in practice. He completes a pass. And, they just showed this kid a good time through the Make-A-Wish Foundation. And then during the game against the Raiders on the 25th of November, just a couple weeks back, comes out of the tunnel, gets announcements on the PA. Just good on the Ravens and, shout out to Frankie and hope he's able to beat this brain cancer because
I saw
it's a terrible thing that's going on, but it's such a good thing that the Ravens did for him.
Absolutely. We love that love. You know how we end the show. Thank you so much for coming through. Baltimore spread love, yo. And we'll see you guys next week. We got Coach Delane Fitzgerald from Frostburg. We got them Bobcats coming through, baby. So we'll see you next week. Have a great week, you guys.
Ooh.
What you missed on Salacious Life Radio.
You know, when it comes to your children, especially if you're dating someone that you actually like, you do want it to work. So you're gonna hope and encourage the relationship between your child and that person because you like that person, you know, so you're gonna hope for the best. I mean, sometimes it just doesn't work and you can't make it work. You can't force it. It's like a branch. You keep bending it, eventually it'll snap, and even if you put it back together, it'll never be what it once was. But you definitely pray on it. You hope for the best, you know, because like nobody wants to spend the rest of their life alone just because a particular relationship didn't work out, but you had this beautiful creature as a result of it, you know. But you don't want to necessarily spend and you're not all of a sudden a bad person. You're not all of a sudden not going to fulfill this other person's needs.
You, madam, are a harlot and a scoundrel.
Because I had one kid while I was still married. Like,
but what if
I take that back.
What if the situation turns around the other way? So you ready for your child to meet? They meet the person, and this person is a giver. So this person's buying your child lots of gifts and wanting to.
I would usually.
Do you
like,
let?
You don't like if it's a birthday or some sort of holiday or something like that. Okay, and they want to get them a few things or get them something. Okay, but just on like a regular basis, like unless it's like Nestle's Quick or something that you can get from like, you know what I'm saying, or like Kit Kats or something like that. Like, no, don't spend a lot of money on
unrealistic. I'm sorry,
it's unrealistic. Like, don't try to buy his.
Tune in live to Salacious Life Radio every Wednesday from 9 to 11, only on BeExposedRadio.com.
Driving has a rhythm all its own. Don't wreck it with a text. Before you get behind the wheel, silence your phone. Or better yet, designate a texter. For more text-free driving tips, visit StopTextStopWrecks.org. Brought to you by the Ad Council and the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration.
Green light. Hey girl, school zone. I'm getting hungry. Car changing lanes. You want to meet me for pizza? Stop sign. Intersection clear. Yeah, street. Pizza sounds good. Ballin Street? Girlin Street!
It's hard to concentrate on two things at once, like texting and driving. Stop the text, stop the wrecks. How will you stop texting and driving? Tell us at StopTextStopWrecks.org. Brought to you by the National Highway Traffic Safety Administration and the Ad Council.
Join the club that gives you stuff.
Hey, thanks!
Radio Loyalty.
Here's how it works.
Just click on the Radio Loyalty banner right now and sign up. Then you keep on listening like you already do. But now you earn points. Those points add up, and you can trade them in for stuff in the Radio Loyalty store. Earn more points by sharing